Blues manager Alex McLeish has assured fans that his team are firmly focused on the Premier League and their upcoming game against Stoke, despite the looming Carling Cup final. He also said he was pleased to see new signing Obafemi Martins finally overcoming his visa issues, and he even took time to comment on the shock sacking of Roberto Di Matteo at the weekend.
Yeah, but nothing surprises you in the game nowadays. We live in that knee-jerk blame culture where results are obviously huge nowadays. The stakes are also immense, and it's difficult for managers nowadays. If Sir Alex and Arsene were starting now, then to build a team, then would they get that time? Amazing. Their longevity is absolutely astonishing. But I'm disappointed for Roberto. It looked as if he was doing a decent job. It's a hard league. Like the quality in the league I don't think it's ever been better in terms of the lower half of the table. I don't know. I mean, the goal is just to make sure that you stay up. That's, of course, you can't guarantee that, but that's what everybody's striving for. And whether it's on 30 something, whether it's on 40 something, whether it's on goal difference, it doesn't really matter. And I don't really like to speculate about these things. I just know we've got to concentrate on winning the next game. We've had a good last 3 or 4 weeks. Quite simply, no respite. We have to keep going, and the players have got to keep challenging themselves. The mental toughness they've shown over the last couple of weeks has been fantastic, and they've got to build on that. Yeah, great. It was a fantastic victory for us. So important. It is only 3 points, but a crucial 3 points away in the travels, and it enhances confidence. It shows that the players have toughed that one out. They showed a lot of character in the game again. And these are for me, these kind of games can define you, and you really make your mark as a Barclays Premier League footballer. That's the next challenge for us. Yeah, that's the challenge for us. We've got home games coming up. Again, no easy game. We know what it's like. We've seen Wolves beat Man United. People think because you're at the bottom half of the table that you should be a walkover, but it's just not the case. Yeah, we've got to do some things in advance for the Carling Cup final, for the programme and things like that, and so it's a wee reminder about how well we've done getting to the final, but it's firmly at the back of the heads in terms of the big day itself. That'll take care of itself. We just have to get back to the bread and butter of the Barclays Premier. Yeah, he's trained this week. He's looking good in training. Good to see him out there finally getting the visa that he was waiting for last week. So good to see him, and I think he can bring something to this squad.
Could you throw him straight in if you wanted to?
He's looking very sharp. So it's something that I'll have to consider. Yeah, there's some options there. We have obviously Kevin and Matt Derbyshire, Cammy Jerome, all the out and out centre forwards really that we have at the club. So great competition, and we were in the first half of the season searching for the right formula. We stuttered a little bit. Now there's great opportunities this last 14 games or so for the players to make their mark. People say little Stoke, coming from, they've spent a few quid and they've spent it wisely, and Tony he knows what it takes to win. He gets them over the line, and he's done that for the last couple of years. This is the third year in the Barclays Premier, and Tony said again, and this was quite, I thought, informative for me from the point of view of learning and developing in this league, that the main thing was for them to stay in the league again. He had no ideas of grandeur saying we're going for Europe, we're going to do this. Tony said let's make sure we stay in the league again, and we start to get a foothold in the league itself, and also we can begin to call ourselves a Barclays Premier League team.
How's Ben Foster's thumb, first and foremost, I suppose?
It's fine. He's okay. England were very accommodating. We thank Fabio Capello and his staff for that. And the big fella's okay. He'll be okay.
Everybody else?
Yep. We've just the long-term injuries. Everybody's bursting to play. The hardest thing for me is picking the team now.
Good stuff. Thank you, mate.
In some games, not just against Stoke, we have found ourselves almost a bit of a mismatch at times with set pieces against some other teams. Man United at Old Trafford, for instance, when I saw the boys lining up, I said, well, they've got a height advantage also. So we had a couple of mismatches in terms of picking up that day. But you know, we've got I think we've got a few players in the team that can match them, but maybe not quite have the same amount of players that Stoke have in terms of their size. So they've got a good advantage and they use it well. But again, that's a good battle for us, and we have to cope with that. Not panic, but cope with it. They never really, in terms of what you saw against Sunderland last week, they weren't close in goals. You know, they were, from our point of view, disappointing, and certainly the winner was very avoidable. We made a bit of a pig's ear out of that one, but you know, we obviously learn lessons. We talk about these things. We try and improve on it, and the players are capable of holding their own.